Okay, but oh, like shoes. Right.
Okay, what is Sandiform?
Sandiform. Sandiform. A big giant sword. Okay, comes out comes out the ground. Okay, an elemental sword.
Okay.
As wielded by the princess. Yes.
And where is this from?
This is from. Let me think.
Sandiform.
Data Spirit. No, Data Live. That's the one.
Is it an anime or
anime?
Okay.
About spirits come to destroy Earth, and some funky weird dude who happens to be very lucky goes out kissing all the spirits and making them naked.
Oh god.
Well, dialing the powers down.
You've clearly been watching 18+ anime.
I have been watching it so many times, and I've actually got 3 series, according to the movies as well. Not too keen on the movies. The movies are a little bit more skittish. Okay. I like anime.
Yeah.
24 minutes is enough.
I mean, it's usually 18, but...
An hour and a bit is just,
But some anime movies are amazing, though. Like,
yeah.
I feel like there's no way they shouldn't make them, but I do understand what you mean.
Well,
like,
I like to watch people pout, scream, shout, do zany movements, okay? Hell, even slide across the floor in a funny way, and maybe hitting their cheeks, on the nearest curb. Just for the hell of it. But hey, this is anime. Okay? You can throw an animation character across the wall, they'll bounce, they'll come back to you and smile and say to you, hi, okay, do you want to try again? But an hour and a bit, not too good about that one.
I mean, it depends. It's when, like, anime series do it, it's a bit annoying, but, like, like an independent movie.
It would be good if the main protagonist, which is the dude, who I have not his name right now, okay? We should just call him Mr. X, but actually we can't call him Mr. X because Mr. X is in X-Files and that would be confusing. Let's just call him the weird guy who just, kisses everyone, okay? Who disrobes people. That guy, okay? He should have his own movie.
Fair. Also, so like a side, what is it called? Like a...
He should have,
like a
one that just
like a
shows
spin-off.
the dude.
Like a spin-off.
No.
Like a spin-off of, like, basically you see this guy on the road in the anime, like, one time and he stops. But this movie is literally, like, carrying on that moment, but from his point of view.
From his point of view,
yeah,
it should be.
That would be
okay?
cool. That would
but
be
at the
cool.
moment, we just see it from the point of view of apparently some wild, changing, super powerful, spirit who happens to be his little sister. Of all things, okay? And not only that, she pilots a damn ship, an airship, for crying out loud.
What annoys me is when they do movies, but the movie somewhat, like, they just, like, half of the movie is just what we saw in the anime. That annoys me sometimes.
Well, it kind of did, worry me that that's what I was gonna get. And then I played Data Life Movie 1. And
So this is called Data Life, not Life.
Date
Alive. Date
no,
Alive?
Not Data Life. It should be Data Life because the spirits are alive.
Okay.
But it's Data Life, like
Data Live.
If you said it very fast, okay, and someone didn't know what you was talking about, they'll actually think you're talking about, some random computer crap.
Okay.
Hi, can I have a Data Live? Okay. Like, how many gigs you want? Actually, I'm going for the 512 MB. I think I've got just enough budget for that. But seriously, okay. It's okay. As an anime, it's good. The artwork's great. The storyline could have been better. The action part, okay. There's a few lolly images in there. By lolly, we mean young kids, or portrayed, or characters portrayed in a youngish kind of version, like childlike. Okay.
That's quite normal for anime, though.
Quite normal, but it's not required. Especially when the violence is over the top.
True.
So you can imagine a 4-year-old, okay, brandishing a machine gun, and smiling very happily while doing so.
In slow motion.
Actually, not in this movie. Not in this one, okay? You haven't got a 4-year-old. But similar to that, okay? There is one character who happens to be, she's, God knows what she is, but she's a spirit nonetheless. Yeah, when it rains, she comes out. She talks to a puppet. So that already tells you she's young, immature, okay? She hides her own emotions inside a puppet.
I watched a actually very interesting video about this topic, but it was actually, they were talking about Hollywood movies, and it's the character, it's a type of character which is called, if I can remember correctly, innocent before born, and it's an idea of a character sort of like when they make like an AI. No, it's really hard to explain. Do you remember that movie with Bruce Willis with like that girl with the orange hair? I don't remember the name of it.
The Fifth Element.
Yeah, so it's basically she would be that character, and I think I see that quite a lot in anime though, but actually portrayed as a young person. But this is basically like a grown-ass woman, but like she's very childish because she doesn't know the world because she was just born like a week ago. It's that idea, and they do it a lot with like Hollywood does it a lot with like AI as well. It was a very interesting video I watched actually. Like it was quite like, it was like I didn't think about it before.
Ideally, would like to watch a show where
But if you think about
everything
anime, that's quite normal.
even in
for
anime. And by the way, okay, don't try this at home. Using CDs as ashtrays is a definite no-no. Use
I
a
was gonna
DVD.
say more quality.
Yes, okay. In fact, if you want to go high class, use a HD DVD. Okay. equivalent to 1080.
Blu-ray.
Okay, Blu-ray.
You
Yes.
could use a Blu-ray if you had like if you were really on it.
Yeah, Blu-ray, and you can hang your electric cigarette on the side, and it can glow. Okay, just like the Blu-ray. Okay, see, I mean, it's all fun and games. But going back to the topic of anime and data life, it should not be called data life. It should be date a life, or date as many chicks as you can possibly get your hands on, while you supposed to be in high school. Okay,
It's always high school.
and endowed with these kind of immense powers that you don't know. Okay, there is one good thing about the whole show: the protagonist can regenerate.
Okay.
Yes, he can regenerate. And we only find out that he was part spirit, which doesn't make sense. Well, it would. I mean, he's the only dude who can subdue the spirits, who all happen to be female. Most of them buxom female. Like
Is
Basti.
it because he's a spirit that he goes back to his state whenever he gets
He
damaged?
doesn't know. This is the thing.
Okay.
Okay? He only finds out when the main person who's supposed to be the most powerful spirit of all, the princess, what a name, the princess, okay, happens to witness him being shot and supposedly dead. And she loses a rag, and apparently he turns up, springs up and said, no, he's alright. Which baffles me. But we find out that, yeah, he's got spirit energy in him. So it all makes sense. In order to subdue the spirits, you need a male version of the spirit.
A lot of anime have like spirit energy, and I feel like that's something like Hollywood doesn't really get into much.
I think Hollywood
Why
needs
is
to
it
take
such
a
a-
leaf out of the animation, producers and creators, and understand that sexual energy can be utilized in multiple ways. Not just for, eye candy, put a flossy looking, good looking person on screen and have him partially dressed or partially undressed, whichever the producer and director's preference is, okay? Or stick him in the shower, or better still, let them come out of the shower dripping wet, okay? As if that is gonna entice the male population to watch and be Google-eyed up on the screen like a bunch of frogs, okay? It's not gonna make the movie work any better.
I don't know, I was talking more in a general sense, just like, how, okay, so even like Naruto, there's like this sense of, there's like, I don't know, a lot of anime go off this like energy. It's like the spiritual sort of like energy, which sometimes it turn into like superpowers or like weapons.
See, this is the thing we all forgot. We're all superpowered people. Humans are superpowered people. We're superhuman. Okay? In fact, we're superheroes, if there is such a word. So, in order for us to realize our true potential and powers, we put that in our creative energy. And most of our creative energy and juices come from sexual repression. So, ergo, the animators are alright. Fuel your animation with sexual, energy. Just
Well,
don't do
is
too
it
much.
is it just sexual? I'm not just
Okay.
talking about sexual energy though, I'm talking
Energy
in
in
a
general,
sense.
yeah. But in animation, you find a lot of animators tend to lean on a perverse kind of animation.
Oh.
Okay, which is they like to lean on the human emotion of, okay, we're gonna get you laughing. We'd like to have something for everyone. So how do we do that? They target groups. Okay, so it could be an anime made for teenagers. Okay, adolescents. Okay, people in puberty trying to work out, their sexual preference. So you watch an anime.
But I'm talking more like
But
in a general sense anyway. And why
if
don't
you're
we
going
see
to
that in
use-
actual movies from Hollywood?
If you're going to use something like that, you can't put it in a movie in Hollywood because it will desensitize the whole thing of what you're trying to do. Your whole material will be out the window.
So you need sort of the exaggeration of the
Yes.
animation itself.
In anime,
Okay.
you can draw faces, you can, slapstick, okay? Like I said, you can throw an anime character on the wall, they can bounce off and come back and, laugh, okay, and go have dinner without worrying about it.
So I guess my question would be like, why is the Western world, there's less animation like that in the Western world?
The reason for that is very simple. Ignorance. They usually say ignorance is bliss, but in this case, ignorance is definitely not bliss. They should take a leaf and watch. They're too afraid to delve into that pot,
Yeah.
But
I mean, like I sort of like even seeing
the
like
relationship
DC
and should I
animation.
say the correlation, it's very much embedded in your creative juices of
Yeah.
people. I could be an animator who chooses to create stuff with emotion, or I could be a
Yeah.
director who wants to direct something
Yeah.
with emotion but have a human element.
But you're quite right
which
in
is
that
definitely
sense.
different from having something drawn with a human element.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yes.
if you think about like DC animations, right? Like that to me is like really good, but at the same time, it like as well as it tells the story, like be it like Superman or Batman or whichever like DC hero they're telling the story of, it lacks like this emotion, which weirdly enough, do you remember the Christian Bale Batman?
Yes.
Like those movies, some sort of like they kind of had that, but I feel like with the animations, like the animated movies DC makes, I really like them. Like I really like them.
Well, the thing
But
is,
I
they
feel
don't
like-
want to stray away from their fan base, which is mostly the comic fan base. The animation movies like DC, Marvel, and well, let's see, some other comic people used to be Dark Horse, Trailblazers, all these kind of people make comics.
But my thing with
Now,
that is like with the internet, wouldn't
turned
the
it
whole
into
target
digital.
audience be the same?
No,
like,
they turn into
wouldn't-
digital, so you can. I mean, you can read a comic online. You can read graphic novels, which is preferably which is adult comics
Yeah.
with less images. The only difference is for someone who's into expressionism and likes to see the emotions portrayed in a much more vivid and calistic way. You go back to drawing board. You grab a comic, you read the panels, you can laugh in your head, or you can watch an anime,
Yeah.
which is practically the same, but a lot more faster. The thing is, this is you can pause your anime and come back to it
Yeah.
anytime you want. You can do the
You
same
can watch
with
as
the comic.
many episodes.
Yeah, you can do the
Yeah.
same with a comic. Only difference is, comics, you have to look after it. Anime
Yeah.
is digital. You don't necessarily have to worry about looking after it because you can find it just about anywhere. And once you've seen one anime, you're practically going to be enrolled in seeing all the other animes that are out there
Yeah.
within a kind of
And
genre.
there's a lot.
Okay.
It just blows my mind just sometimes going through like anime libraries. Like how much anime there actually is crazy.
Yes,
There's so much.
I know. There shouldn't be that much, but there is.
But there is,
Because
and it's
everyone
like,
creates.
wow.
The idea to create is spontaneous.
And
so
you find
it's ongoing.
so many like secret. It's not even that they're all like there's like a bed of like basic stuff, and there's like some stuff which is really good. There are so many gems.
Well, this is
Like
the thing,
I just
right?
randomly find like 7 episode anime, and I'm like, wow.
Animators are, they envelope pushers. They push the creative boundaries and make the people in Hollywood maybe take note. Because I have seen some movies where they've taken some from an anime, and you won't actually notice it unless you looked carefully. And yes, it gelled perfectly. It made sense. But anything else doesn't make sense because it's geared up for human consumption in a way where it's presented by the individual self, i.e.
Yeah.
you put the person, the human person, figure, character to play this, other being who's not supposed to be. Whereas in an anime, you can craft your character.
Yeah. Do you know what's weird? From the vague animes which I found, which are not famous, but they're like I found them really, really good. I got this feeling that like the person who was making them didn't really like. I felt like they were just like making their thing. They didn't care about like who their exactly like target market is or like who's gonna watch it. Like, surely they do care about people watching it, but I feel like they didn't. From watching the anime compared to like really like shonen like really famous animes, like there's this sense that they were just making. They were like literalizing their idea.
Well, this is the thing.
The word
that I
they
like
didn't
about
care
anime.
about.
With anime, not like a movie. Okay, it might take producers, team of people to create. Just one simple idea.
Yeah.
Make it to reality. But the end result would be the creators are creating for the love of creating
Yeah.
something. Whereas in movies, it takes a lot of budgeting.
Yeah, and a lot of,
people,
like, a
and
big
you kind
crew
of take
as
to
well.
think about what you're gonna, who you're gonna offend, who you're not gonna offend. Whereas
Yeah.
in anime, there is no offense. If there is, it's you take it as you watch it.
Yeah.
And slightly, it's not intended to offend. It's just from the creator's point of view.
Yeah.
But mainstream movies, Hollywood movies, you can't have that. Those reins are reined in to a point of responsibility falls on the producers
Yeah.
behind the product. And the product being the end, movie you end up seeing on your screen.
I mean, the stuff they're doing with like shows like The Mandalorian and stuff in Westworld, right? Like, I'll just imagine like that, but like they adapt an anime story instead of like a Western sort of like sci-fi story.
Well, this
It's
is
just
the
like
thing.
I feel like it'd be nuts just visually. It would just be like amazing.
Well, the next one you could think about is, why all movies are structured Western-wise. It's like we moved away from cowboys and Indians and black and white movies years ago, Phil North.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, all movies are structured in that sort of sense. They give you a lot of action, less dialogue.
But there's
you
this
tend
sense
to
of
wonder,
like there's
what
this sense
is the
of like
actual
real
meaning?
not real in anime, right? Which is weird. Like, I don't know. I feel like Hollywood just tries to make everything too realistic.
This is the thing. It's supposed to be escapism. You're
Yeah.
supposed to watch a movie to escape the
But
reality.
now they can actually simulate realistically those like abstract environments we might have seen in anime, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if they actually did adapt or like Japan itself actually gets to a point where, which is weird if you think about it. They do a lot of realistic stuff, but very, very realistic. So like
Yes.
dramas.
Yes.
But like if they were to do something which was like completely like CGI, but like realistic, sort of like Hollywood stylish, but an anime storyline, can you imagine how nuts it would be?
Well, they did do something like that, but I think it was funded partly by, Hollywood, which is the first Final Fantasy.
I don't remember. I didn't
I
even know.
remember going
Was
to the
it?
movies to watch that.
Okay.
I also remember the hype.
Was it
that,
bad?
No,
Was it good?
it was skittish.
But that's what I mean. Like, I feel like Japan needs to do it themselves.
They gave us, okay, a new way to make movies. And they proved that you can make movies digitally without ever having interaction with the human person.
Yeah.
Apart from the people sitting on the keyboard. Yes, they showed us that. They also told us how long it would take to manufacture somebody's hair and to animate the character's hair. In Final Fantasy to start, I think it took something like 9 months just to animate, you know, the flow of hair to get it realistic. And the skin and how, you know, it reacts when the sun hits it.
Well, that's the rendering side. It probably took them 9 months to render
when
it.
you think about something like that taking that long, and then you think about how long it would take to shoot a movie.
No, but technology's gotten very, very... I'm talking about like super CGI stuff as well, like
here's
movies.
the thing. I have to consider all those things. Because CGI, you require some sort of template.
Well, not really. Not
you
really.
don't
That's
have
the thing.
it doesn't exist. It exists only in your mind until you put it into
It depends
the actual,
it depends
into the
who
console.
you get for the CGI now, I think.
When you
Like-
try to put all these creative artists into one place and they all create something beautiful, it blends and it works nicely.
Yeah.
CGI, you would never know the difference. There's another movie that came out CGI wise, along with the Final Fantasy thing. I think Gantz. That's part of CGI.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Through the fluent action, you would never tell.
Yeah.
But standalone scenes, individual scenes, yeah, you'd know something's off. It's not human. There's no
Yeah.
human element.
But I'm talking like massively CGI. though,
Massively
like,
CGI movies.
Like,
Hollywood's given us a lot of them.
yeah, but that's
All
what
the
I'm saying. Like,
superhero
what would
CGI
happen
movies
if
we
Japan
see-
did it? What if Japan did
Japan-
it?
if Japan
and it's
done it,
like
it'll
literally
be,
off like, I
I
don't know.
think the movie world will have to go on its knees, okay, and have to say thank you.
Yeah, because like
For having an eyes
I'm
wide
talking
open.
like they actually bring in like actual like anime artists and CG artists which can do like anime style, but still have that like real
Yes,
thing
Steve.
in it.
You're right, brother. I have a colleague here, Annie.
How you been?
Not bad, yourself?
Not bad, like the army, like the army.
Yeah, we're like the coach, man.
Desert
Okay?
man, you're the desert man.
I like your one, man. Yeah. Come on, we're going green. We're going green. Okay, I can see myself being in the Navy. Okay, see, now as an anime, I would be the Navy. And I wouldn't worry about it. And I love superpowers. I know kung fu of all sorts. Okay, without being trained. And all I can tell you is, oh, when I was young, I picked up them powers from a god. And guess what? It will be right. Okay, you can get reincarnated. Okay, into some superpower person. Okay, my example would be a polar bear. So I wouldn't mind being incarnated as a polar bear.
What would you see me as?
Nothing much, brother. Just trying to stave off the new
I'll start training soon, really, mate. But I do, I want a before, after, I want a photo now, I want an after photo.
Okay.
Like a shot like me. I'm starting training again soon.